And Novaes joins me on the phone from Buenos Aires. He's co-founder and CEO of Current, a media platform, a utility token, and a protocol. First, can you explain, Dan, how cryptocurrencies work exactly and why there's such a phenomenon?
Yeah, so people have been using cryptocurrency now as like a way to diversify some of their assets. The technology behind blockchain allows for a lot of transparency and removal of centralized agencies. So the ability to have this transparent exchange between parties is something that we've never been able to have before. And now people want to also diversify and invest in that technology because there's a lot of similarities between what was happening with the internet in '95. People are making these correlations.
How will Venezuela's version, called Petro, be different from Bitcoin? Will it be different?
Yeah, so it's definitely different. They're basically backing petrol with their commodities like oil, gas, diamonds, etc. Or sorry, not gas, oil and gold. But it's centralized, right? Whereas the Bitcoin network, one of the attributes and also one of the biggest criticisms of why Venezuelans have adopted it is that there's the decentralized aspect of it. So a lot of people that have been seeing this news come out, kind of see it as it's not necessarily a cryptocurrency. It's basically Venezuela, skirting some of the sanctions that the United States has placed on it, and it's backing it with its natural resources so that it can trade with other countries.
Well, as you know, Venezuela is facing really dismal economic conditions right now. Triple-digit inflation, high unemployment, shortage of foods. So the fact that more and more Venezuelans are turning to digital currencies, I mean, what are the risks here? Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think actually, Venezuela as a government, it's ironic that they're going after cryptocurrency because, the Venezuelan citizens, they have had, nearly 100% deflation on their own currency this year alone. So they've turned to Bitcoin, which is a universal currency where they can, store their money and their value. But now the government has, there's black markets that essentially allow you to buy dollars and Bitcoins, and there's usually a premium to that in those markets. But now the government is seeking to, bail itself out with cryptocurrency. I personally see it as a great thing for any country that doesn't have to rely on, Venezuela's, for example, bureaucracy and the country itself, like the government that steals from its people. So overall, I'm a huge fan of it. And that's one of the reasons that cryptocurrency is so popular.
Well, you're an expert. You know all about cryptocurrencies. We're not. So if you had to give a piece of advice to someone before they got involved in this venture, what would you tell them?
I can only speak for myself, right? But here's essentially how I look at it. There's people today that are first getting into the industry, and they're just been going up, up, and up. I think that there will likely be in the short term a correction, but I believe that cryptocurrency in the next 5 to 10 years will overall be much higher than it is today. At the end of the day, there's 21 million Bitcoins in existence. I don't know how much their gold is in the ground, but that's an $8 trillion market cap. Everyone should exercise, caution when putting money into cryptocurrency. But everyone, I think, should expose their portfolio at least 1 or 2% into cryptocurrency and the various technologies behind it, because it will ultimately change the way that we live. And I believe the new Facebooks and Netflixes of the world will use the technology behind it. So that's kind of like my view on how I see cryptocurrency impacting our lives and the future.
All right, we'll leave it there. Dan Novaes joining us on the phone from Buenos Aires.